What it do? Two beards, one league coming at you again today, right before Thanksgiving. So I know everybody's busy. I'm sure Joe's busy. I know I'm busy, but you know what? We got off work a little early today and figured get this recording out, and hopefully everybody watches it before tomorrow and Turkey Day. Joe, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm feeling a little relief to have this next couple days off. So
Sure.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I know we're all looking forward to that. But getting into this week, lots of football to watch. We have Thursday, we have Friday game, we have Saturday or Sunday, we have Monday. Like there's pretty much football every day starting tomorrow, and except for Saturday. So lots of things to talk about, lineups, all that other fun stuff to get into.
Yep.
And I guess we'll just start with our news and injuries and kind of go from there, right?
Yep. Sounds
all
good.
Right. We'll break it down. So Alvin Kamara has sprained MCL, most likely out.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Neal, right?
Yep.
Stepping in for him. I know he was a big waiver pickup. He went for, I think, $17 in our league.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I love him. The Dolphins this week have been actually playing decent run defense as of late. They held James Cook. The Commanders didn't really do anything against them. Coming off a bye, we'll see. But
yeah, I'd say it's a nice stash. Nice stash.
Yeah.
Just wait and see.
Yeah. He's still not even ruled out right now. He's still likely out. So that's always a good sign, right? For the Alvin Kamara owner, like, hey, he's not out right now. He'll probably, even if he's out this week, he's probably back by next week. Baker Mayfield limited. He has an AC joint sprain in his non-throwing arm. I think this is big. If Baker's out, it kills Ibuka, it kills Cade Otton. Really hurts their offense, right? Chris Godwin coming back, Bucky Irving coming back. Hard to want to start any of those guys without Baker.
For sure. Even if you've been because I know for me, where I've had Mike Evans stashed too, it's what motivation to bring him back now too. So it's a big, if he's out and it's longer than kind of like this week, it's a big deal.
I don't know if you ever sprained your AC joint, but it is super painful. So I get it. Even on your non-throwing arm, it hurts.
He's a tough dude. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is off IR. Fantastic for the guys who held him. In our league, he was dropped and JJ picked him up. So now JJ is going to have to decide between Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. I feel like it's that meme you send me all the time, struggling with success.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who to pick.
I don't know who to pick, guys.
Great for Jamar Chase.
Oh, yeah.
Great for that Bengals offense. Josh Jacobs is back. So no injury tag. Fantastic. Wilson filled in fantastically for him. But I'm sure everybody would rather have Josh Jacobs. So
for the owner, yeah. I mean, if you didn't have him as a handcuff, then yeah, I'm sure you're very happy that he's back.
Yeah, Jacob had both, so I'd rather have Josh Jacobs, I'm sure.
For sure.
Omari and Hampton's 21-day window open for practice, so he looks like he's on the mend, right? Hopefully he comes back, before week 14 or next week. And then because the last thing you really want to do is start him in week 15, the first week of the playoffs.
That's a tough decision to make if you have to do that.
So we'll see how that goes. It's kind of bad. Bucky Irving probably back in lineups. I will say the coach did say he's going to be limited, and I said the exact same words that he said for Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin last week played 25 of 70 snaps. I would expect a similar work in for Bucky, so kind of keep an eye on it.
Yep.
Maybe don't throw him right in your lineups right away. You could probably still start Rashad White or Sean Tucker with some kind of confidence, but maybe you don't have any other options, so you got to do it.
Yep, especially if you're fighting for a spot.
Drake London, doubtful. Kind of sounds like he's already out. Probably huge for Mooney. He had a big week, 70
Mhm.
yards and a touchdown last week. So I would expect similar expectations with Drake London being doubtful, he's most likely not going to play.
Yep.
Another big week for Mooney.
Yep.
And then last but not least, T. Higgins is out, which sucks because Joe Burrow's coming back, but T. Higgins unfortunately has a lot of concussions, so sucks. But Jamar Chase to the moon, right?
Yep.
All right. That's it. That's all I got. I'm sure there's some things I missed. But I didn't put anything that kind of sounded like, oh, he was limited but expected to play. Like, there's no reason to put those things in there. I just put the things that were of importance.
For sure.
Special shout out, just a real quick one. Robert commented on our last video, which I appreciate, just so everybody's aware. I think we had 7 views, and I know one of them was me and one of them was Sarah, so we had 5 people watch. But Robert did comment that I should change my name to The Wrong Decisions, and I thought that was the best thing I had heard. So I actually did. I went in and changed my name to The Wrong Decisions. That was great, Robert. Thank you for commenting. That was hilarious. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true, which is like all we're looking for. Thanks for continuing watching. Hopefully everybody else that is watching and tuning in, they're enjoying these. Just going from there, having a good time. I know we're getting to that point in the season where if you're not really in it, it's hard to get everybody engaged. So I'm hoping everybody continues to kind of push through. That's why we do this. This is for fun. Keep watching. We're going to do it during the playoffs. I'm still going to talk smack. Joe and I are going to be talking about last place and all that other fun stuff when we get there. So please engage. Don't pack out now.
Well, we're on the bottom, so it's okay. So we won't. We know we won't.
Yes, I know. All right, next, our Beat Steve segment. So obviously we played each other last week. I thought it'd be fun because we pick on each other all the time. It's fine. So I did create this little, 2 trash cans talking to each other where, well, we are both trash, but I am better. And then, your trash can saying, well, I ain't coming in last. So it was fun. Our game was so bad. Like, we were 2 of the 3 lowest scoring teams. Like, it was not a good matchup. Both of our teams nobody did anything. Like, Trevion Henderson and Drake May for you didn't put up what we expected. Lamar Jackson put up 7, and Jameson Williams had a 0-point game for me, which I did want to point out. Somebody posted it, and I went and looked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh. Since week 6, Jameson Williams has either scored 16 plus points or 0. There is no in between.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of one of those things. If by like the second quarter he hasn't scored any points, you can pretty much, this is a 0-point week. Or if he's got like 4, you're like, oh, cool, we're getting at least 12 more.
So if you're down by 16, you're praying that you get that.
Yeah, you're like, come on, Jameson, give me the 16.
At least it's 50-50 for you.
Yeah, I thought it was. I looked it up after they said. I was like, that can't be true. Sure enough, it's like 16, 0, 18, 23, 19, 0. I was like, that's insane.
That's fantastic. That is insane.
He's either going to kill it for you or he's going to do nothing.
Yeah, he's either going to kill it for you or he literally is going to kill your team for you.
He literally, that's exactly what JJ said when I drafted him. He's like, oh, he'll win you fantasy weeks. He will. But God, he will also just lose you.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was a fun stat when I read that.
I was
hilarious. Like, that's crazy. Like, who would have ever thought in a million years, like, that's going to be the stat? All right. So new team name Thursday on a Wednesday. I am done trying to convince Brandon to change his name, which is why I just changed my name. But because Brandon got completely shit on, was the lowest scoring team and played the highest scoring team, I made this one because you know what? He played my wife anyways. Let me
and your wife's moved up to first.
She did. Alert, so yeah. Which is why I put her on here. I sent it to you, and what I was trying to get is so obviously Sarah's saying should have changed her name. She's sitting on a throne that says Lamar Hazard. I initially asked ChatGPT to make it a toilet, and it said it was against its terms of use policy.
Clearly
Probably
they don't
because
like
it was,
toilet humor.
yeah, it doesn't like people getting shit on, but Sarah shit on him, so that's what we're going with here. It was just a fun little like, hey, I'm gonna poke fun at you now. Like, I'm done asking you to change your name, but I promise you, I'm just gonna come up with a new way to show you everybody beat you.
Yeah.
So just a fun little, you know what? I'm not gonna have a new name, but we do have a way to still go, hey, Sarah killed it, and like you said, spoiler, moved into first because JJ not only lost, but Sarah won dominantly. So
Fantastic for her. I'm happy for her.
yeah, great week. She's really done a great job by herself this year. Made a lot of pickups. Things I didn't even think about. Like, I mean, I was giving her a hard time, like, oh, I wouldn't have drafted that guy or that kind of stuff. And they've all been the right moves. So
yeah. I mean, she's learned from, I mean, there were some moves where they were a little questionable, but like as the season's gone on, she's obviously done her research and she's made the moves that she's needed to make to be in the position that she's in currently. So
yeah, mad call outs to her. I mean, she drafted Chris Olave, which I was like, I don't know if I would have done that. She, took Jalen Hurts earlier than I would have, but they've all looked like the right move. So can't give her too hard of a time there because she's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
So mad props, Sarah. She's not here, so she's not even hearing all this fun call outs. She's just, she'll have to watch it. And
that's why we were recording earlier. I get you.
No, she's home. She's just getting everything. She loves setting up Christmas on Thanksgiving. So she's getting all of her Christmas stuff out. Like, I pulled it all down. She's just trying to get it all organized.
Gotcha.
All right. Week 12 recap. So just like last week, I'm going to pull it up. We're going to have it at the bottom. Couple things, we already kind of talked about it. Sarah won. I won over you guys, but I figure we could just kind of dive into it. The show's not going to be very long today. We're 12 minutes in. We're kind of flying through everything because not a lot to cover. And I'm hoping keeping it shorter will get everybody interested. But because we played each other, I thought it would be a lot easier to just, hey, we can really dive into this game, talk about what you guys were thinking. I mean, for the most part, you and I were on Sunday and Monday, we're on video games together talking. So it's not like this was anything crazy.
New. Yeah.
I will say, in a continuance of just my utter incompetence at quarterback, Lamar Jackson, 7 points against the New York Jets. Just freaking killing it, right? Honestly, my best move this week, if I'm being quite frank, was starting Kareem Hunt.
Yes.
Like, I took a flyer on it and he got 20 points. It kind of felt like you guys got a little unlucky. You started Breece Hall over Ashton Jeanty, who ended up going off for 24.
Yeah, that was me.
I don't hate it. I felt bad for you guys because you're constantly trying to now you have too many good running backs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you're playing the other game of like, oh, how could you sit Travion Henderson after scoring 32 the last 2 weeks? 32
especially against Cincinnati's defense. Yeah.
Right. Who've been terrible. And, you can't sit Breece Hall had some good games, and they were playing Baltimore, who had been giving up a ton. And you're talking about Ashton Jeanty versus Cleveland, who's been the best run defense in the league. I 100% agreed with everything. You just got unlucky because Ashton Jeanty finally did what you drafted him to do in the second round.
Yep.
Any other things that you were like, wish I would have, or anything you were like, dang?
Not from my perspective, but I know from Mike's perspective, when him and I were talking when you weren't around.
Yeah.
He's like, because he's a 49ers fan, so he's like, yeah, he's like, as soon as Brock Purdy threw that first pick, I knew it was over for us, because he threw it to Pearsall and it got picked. I was like, okay, because I wasn't watching the game at the time. So
yeah. And
Mike, very much when his team is on TV, he will pay attention and watch that game the entire time. So he was giving me pretty much recaps every offensive drive for his team. So
yeah, no, for me, I couldn't watch it. And I told Mike this, right? Like, I can't watch I hate watching football games when I'm rooting against players. I love rooting for my players, But for me, fantasy football it stopped being fun when I started rooting against players, right? Like, oh, if he scores this touchdown or if he does that, because like it brings my anxiety level up. So because I was up, I think like 20 or 30 points going into that game, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch, and I'm just going to hope it works out, which is why I jumped on
Yeah, for sure.
video games. Cause I was like, I don't want to sit there and worry about it. Like, let it happen. And however it lies, it lies.
Yeah. I don't blame you, because there was a time where I was looking at it. I was like, oh, we're catching up. And then I was like, if like Kittle scores like a touchdown and Pearsall can get like a few catches, we can probably catch up to you by like 1 point or something like that. So yeah, I totally get it. The anxiety of not wanting to root against it, because it's like you want to cheer for the players
I
overall
don't want
anyway.
to,
So
because the other part that comes in, and this is just like mine, I don't ever want to be the person who's like rooting for an injury.
oh yeah, totally.
And I've noticed when I'm rooting against a player, if they get injured, I'm like, oh, thank God. And I hate that part of fantasy. So that's why I'm like, no, when I'm playing fantasy, I'll root for my players, but I try not to root against the other team,
Yeah.
just to make myself feel like more comfortable. And if I don't have
Sure.
anybody in the game, which I didn't on Monday, I was like, I'm just not going to watch it. There's no reason to be miserable the whole time.
Sure.
I did watch I think I watched the last 8 minutes because I was up by 13, and I was like, now it's going to take like a miracle because they're up by 2 scores. The 49ers are going to run out the clock. So I did finish watching the game, but yeah, felt the same. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was one of those weird weeks where, you know, Puka didn't do a lot, Nico didn't do a lot, Lamar didn't do a lot, and Jameson scored 0, but my running backs scored more points than they've scored like all season for me.
Yeah.
So, from my perspective, yeah, it was just, I got lucky that I played you guys this week, because last week you guys put up like 150. This week, you know, just not as lucky.
Yeah. Our receivers didn't do much, so it makes sense. We've been just injuries all season for us. Yep.
Yeah. No, you guys, you've just been unlucky. And then, yeah, but if we look at it, really, the only player you could have put in would have been Tej Johnson for Ricky Pearsall, and even that wouldn't have been enough to win the game.
No,
it would have made it closer, but there was nobody on your bench besides Ashton Jeanty that would have won you the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even Ashton Jeanty scored 11, and you guys lost by 12. So
yeah. So
all right, next one, Aaron dominated this week against Robert, 161 to 123. I mean, just Aaron's team with JSN is insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
Dak put up 31. CeeDee Lamb had a bad game, had 11. But JSN scoring 37. JJ even texted a little group chat we have on the side, and he was just like, JSN's a league winner. And I kind of agree.
He is.
JSN with Devontae Adams are killing it for him.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne had another good week, and I'm pretty sure Aaron has had a decent amount of players. Just so he also has Cortland Sutton on bye that week, and Zach Ertz. So, you know, Aaron's team it's kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, good job, Aaron. Keep doing that. On the other side of it, it's not that Robert's team was bad. It just seems like Rome Odunze and the Bears they're spreading that ball around a lot more. Teteroa McMillan really had a bad game. He 2 catches for a touchdown.
Carolina just didn't have a very good game overall.
Yeah. Javonte Williams, Rashad White, Jake Ferguson, just players we expected to do more, had bad weeks. Matthew Stafford, on the other hand, him trading away Josh Allen, I was like, I don't know if I would have done that, has not looked like it's killed him. Yeah. 28 points from Matthew Stafford, and then he still had Caleb Williams on the bench with 27.
Yeah, he's fine. Unlike Stafford's been playing I think he'll end up being the MVP. So
hilariously, both those quarterbacks were at one point on my roster.
Yes, I mean, did you have Caleb? Oh, you did have Caleb.
I did have Caleb.
I remember
he got me 6.
Stafford.
And Stafford got me 5. And Drake May got me 3. I feel like good luck, Chuck. I'll put them on my roster. As soon as I drop them, they're going to kill it. Just pick them up.
Yeah, I feel like Robert's comments on your decision making is very accurate.
Yeah, so that's why my team name is Wrong Decisions, right? Because I have completely made the wrong decisions all year.
Indeed.
Which always makes me feel a little bit better. Like, hey, you weren't bad at fantasy, you were just too quick to get to drop somebody,
To drop somebody.
which has always been our biggest comment about JJ. He's always the guy who like drops people quick. This year it's me. I'm okay with it. Like, you know what? I made the right choices. I'm just a little antsy. I'm being too quick. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, getting into this one. This was our matchup of the week: JJ versus Jacob. This game was not what we expected. I know, not for me, not for you.
Nope, not at all.
I expected a significantly bigger game. We both picked JJ to win this game.
Yep.
JJ had a great game from CMC, had a great game from Amon-Ra, and Brock Bowers at 11. Everybody else on his team did not score double digits. Like, it was Josh Allen, 8, T. Higgins, 8. In fairness, T. Higgins did get the concussion.
Yep.
Shaheed, 4. Mark, 7. Sean Tucker, 5. And it's not like anybody on his bench could have helped him.
Yep.
So it's not like JJ did anything bad. It just, he was super unlucky. On the other side, Jacob, Jordan Love, and Justin Jefferson, didn't do fantastic. But Devonta, George Pickens, great player.
Great game.
He's been killing it lately. And Jonathan Taylor had 8 points, but it's okay because Emmanuel Wilson had 26. So it's like, oh, cool. And then Hunter Henry with 24. He also had low scoring players, but his high scoring players just were better.
Just were better that week. Yep.
Not much more to say. He still had players on his bench that scored a ton of points. Overall, Jacob's got a solid team, and especially when Jonathan Taylor, who's been putting up 20 to 40 every week, only puts up 8 and he still wins. Like, hard team to beat.
Yep, definitely.
All right, so this is the Sarah versus Brandon game that we talked about. Sarah's team it's hard to win when you play against Jahmyr Gibbs, who puts up 55 points.
Yeah.
I mean, Brandon was kind of cursed to start off with. Jalen Hurts putting up 32, and Olave 16, Darnell Mooney 16, Rico Dowdle 11, but 55. 55,
it's a killer.
But you can kind of see, like, this is Sarah's team is she's making the right start-sit decisions in these cases, like 5.8 and 7.1. Okay, well, 7 from your tight end is always, you're going to take it. And then to go, hey, I only got 5.8, but that was because on her bench is most of her receivers. Oh, okay. Yeah, Malik Washington, Jalen Waddle, both on bye, whatever. Chris Olave, Darnell Mooney, if they're going to be getting her 15, 16 points, Jahmyr Gibbs always has that chance to go off. Jaylen Warren has been playing out of his mind. Her team is in first, and it probably deserves to be in first because this team is definitely scary at this point.
For sure.
On the other side of it, Brandon picked up Brock Purdy. You and I had talked about it. We were wondering if he was going to pick anybody up. He literally did it right before the game. So Wandell went off for 31. Bijan had 14 and Trey McBride 16, but 1.9 from DeAndre, 9.9 from Xavier, Emeka Buka 6. Just rough. Ramondre Stevenson, which, by the way, had like 4 carries in the red zone, just didn't turn any of those into touchdowns, which is kind of why Trevion didn't have a good game. But it's not like he had any options. And we said
he
that.
He did not. And we said that, yeah.
We both picked Sarah, and she dominantly won this game.
Yep.
Last but not least, which was another game we called out, was a big game. Terrence pulled off the victory versus Ryan. Jordan Addison, JJ McCarthy did not look to him, which has been crazy. Jared Goff had a great game. AJ Brown had his first big game. We've been saying this the whole time. It's AJ Brown or Saquon. It's never both.
Yep. It's never both.
Michael Wilson has looked fantastic. This was a great pickup. Juwan Jennings had a good game. Juwan Johnson, Quinshon Judkins had a great game with his 2 touchdowns in the Wildcat formation. Just solid team across the board. He did a really good job.
Yeah.
Even with 16.5 from Myles Garrett. I mean, that's insane. I did not realize how high that was.
Oh, he's gonna break the sack record.
Yeah, I am pretty sure it's crazy to think about. But yeah, he had 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Dang, that's great.
He's playing out of his mind.
Casey even won this game. But it just wasn't, besides Rashee Rice, everybody else kind of, the ball didn't get spread around. DK Metcalf got hurt in the game. And even looking at his bench, all he had was Shakir that he could have started.
Yep. Because Chase was suspended and yep.
All right. There's our week 12 recap, down. Anything kind of stick out to you? It felt like we kind of saw a lot of it coming. We were pretty much right on either our picks or what we called out about our picks.
Yeah, just a lot of low scoring games this last week. It seems like just that time of year. I'm like, it happens.
Yep.
So
this is where fantasy football switches from throwing all the time to running all the time.
Yep. Because I'm like, if you got a lead, you're gonna run the ball out. So
yeah, and it's cold and all weather games start to come in. So last week you went 2-3, I went 3-2, moving our records to 24-21 for yourself, 25-20 for me. Again, we've been pretty close the whole time. The 2 games we picked, we both picked JJ to win. So there was one of our losses. Obviously you picked yourself and I picked myself. That was one of our differences. And our other difference is you picked Terrence and I picked Ryan. That was really our only differences in picks. Or I'm sorry, you picked Robert and I picked Aaron.
Yeah.
So nothing crazy. We both agreed that it could go either way on all of those games. I think we just picked opposite.
Yep.
So we'll keep going, Okay, so this matchup of the week is going to be different than what we've been doing. What we had been doing in all of our matchups of the week is our higher seeds, right? Like 1 versus 3 or 2 versus 4, whatever we were doing. That changes up this week because now we're getting into playoff scenarios. There's 2 weeks left. There's 3 teams for 1 playoff spot.
Yep.
So last week with you guys losing has eliminated you from the playoffs. Brandon has also been eliminated from the playoffs. You guys cannot make it because both of you being at, I believe, 9 losses at this point.
Yeah, 3-9.
Yeah, are 100% eliminated because the worst that anybody will do is even if every one of us loses out the rest of this, Ryan is 6-8. I am, so he'll make it because he'll only have 8 losses. That's the worst he can do. So you guys have been eliminated. Brandon's been eliminated. It's really down to Terrence, myself, and Ryan. There's a few scenarios we can talk about, but most likely it's going to be one of the 3 of us. That's it because of the point differential.
Yep.
So that being said, this week's matchup of the week is actually me versus Terrence because essentially whoever wins this game is the only one who has a chance to make the playoffs. If you lose this game, you're done. And it comes down to Ryan versus whoever wins this one. Again, this can change. If Ryan wins, it pretty much is over.
Pretty much means nothing.
There's one scenario where Ryan can win and Terrence still makes it, but I'm so far behind on points. There is no way I can make it unless somehow my team scores like 400 points. I know that's not going to happen. I'm not going to pretend that's going to happen. So the scenario is whoever wins this game, if Ryan continues to lose, that's who will make the playoffs. So let's break into, let me get this matchup up on the screen and you can tell me your thoughts and go from there. So I believe you can see it, correct?
I can. Thank you.
This is going to be a rough week. He has a lot of players playing Friday and Thursday. I have, I think, 1 playing Thursday, 2. Because I have a few defensive players and Lamar Jackson. But I'm gonna let you take it away, kind of look at it, break it down.
Yeah, I like your matchups with I know my team it was a close game between my team and Cincinnati, but I think like Baltimore is fighting for playoff spot. So I think Lamar Jackson has a great matchup this week. Goff does too. So, I think those 2 kind of cancel each other out. Like we always say, it really depends on how the Eagles are feeling this week between A.J. Brown and Saquon. So, I like the matchup with Nico. I love your match. You guys are playing. The Rams are playing Carolina, so Puka should have a great game. Jameson, we'll see.
I'm really hoping that Jameson can kind of cancel out Jared Goff a little bit. I
Yeah.
legit debated pulling him out, but it's honestly like, you know what? Maybe he throws a few touchdowns 100%. Maybe they're to Jameson, and that cancels each other out just a little bit. That's the only reason he's still in my lineup.
For sure. Overall, I mean, I think both your matchups, players wise, are about a little bit even. I think it'll be a close match for you guys, but I think I'm going to pick you to kind of win it out, just slightly, just because like Troy Franklin's back. Puka has been your strongest player all season, and same thing
Right,
with
he's
Nico.
consistently 16, no less than 16, but he could get you 30.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with you this week.
I'm also going with me. I do like my quarterback matchup a little bit more. Obviously, Jared Goff is playing in Green Bay. He's always been an indoor person.
Mm-hmm.
He always has those bad games when he plays outdoors. Now that can change, but on Thursday night in Green Bay, I do think he's not going to have a great game. The AJ Brown and Saquon Barkley do scare me because Chicago has been terrible defensively. They've just been massive offensively.
I mean, they looked pretty good last week with both their starting corners and all three of their linebackers out. So
yeah, but that's, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know how this will go. I do think Philadelphia is probably going to stop on the other side of that, DJ Moore. Michael Wilson versus Tampa Bay, though, like that's a great matchup. Devontae Adams just killed, and Puka both had great games against that Tampa Bay secondary. So I think Michael Wilson could have a massive game.
Yep.
Devon Achane against New Orleans, their run defense has not been great. I do think the Dolphins kind of tee off. From my side of it, there are a few players that I'm like, I don't love that. Like, I don't love James Cook versus Pittsburgh, but I think since Keon Coleman has been benched, James Cook has been the focal point of receiving out of the first and second down and has just had his big plays. I think Nico Collins needs to get involved. I think they want to get him involved. He had a bad week last week, but they still won the game. Like you said, I love Puka. Jameson, literally just a play to counter Jared Goff.
You just need one.
Yeah, if you're going to throw it there. Tyler Warren, I just think he's matchup proof at this point. He gets you 10 points as a tight end, which I can't ask for much more. And I love Troy Franklin. I think against Washington secondary, which is terrible, Troy Franklin could end up having 20-plus point game.
For sure. I thought he was going to break out this year, and it's proving
and
right. Because
he has. He's just from a perspective, his last, even this game where he only scored 8, had 10 targets, but 12, 26, 8, 16, 12. Like, he's consistent.
He's been consistent. Yeah. It's something that Brandon and I have talked about.
So I really like him. He's been taking a lot of Cortland Sutton stuff, which is why I liked him so much. We'll see. I do agree. I think it's going to be a close game. I am going to pick myself as well. I'm done picking against myself at this point. Like, I feel like my team has gotten strong enough to make runs now. But I really think it's Lamar Jackson. It's up to him. If I was lucky, I won last week. I think if he scores 7 or 8, I don't think I win. So I think I need one of those 25 to 30 point games for me to have a chance, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if your decisions are actually wrong again.
Yeah, it could be. I am sitting Kenneth Gainwell and I'm sitting Kareem Hunt because Isaiah Pacheco's back and Kareem Hunt had 30 carries last week and looked like he was going to die by the end of it. So I don't think I can start him anymore. For sure. All right. So getting into our week 13 predictions, we already chose, we both chose myself on this one. So let me write that down so it's easier to remember. But next, we actually have your game.
Oh, sweet.
So you guys are going up against Aaron. This is like a powerhouse game here. Aaron and his team have just been so good. Yeah. I'll let you start us off.
I mean, he's got JSN, so it already makes it really, really tough. So, and then Devontae Adams as well. I'm like, oh, goodness. For us, I know you see our lineup right now. I don't know if this is the final lineup yet. So,
right.
Either way, I mean, our receivers have been struggling like the last 3-4 weeks since like our main receivers have been hurt. Our running backs are literally carrying us if we are able to get a win in Drake May. So, but Aaron's been way consistent with all of his players just having JSN, all that stuff. Like, I think I don't know what kind of version of like Dak and Lamb we're gonna get this week. I think that depends. Like, if Dallas starts going off on Kansas City, I think Aaron can definitely crush us because I already expect Devontae Adams and JSN to go off. So I'll actually go with Aaron this week, like slightly.
Okay.
Just because I'm like, I think it's real tough for us, for Mike and I this week, just because our receivers have not been producing.
I think I'm going to agree with you. And it's not only that. Aaron's just made a lot of the right picks, right?
Mhm.
JSN, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, all have been home run hits who have this massive floor and an even higher ceiling. So I think even when Aaron has a bad game from some of his players, he's still putting up 140 points.
Yep.
And while I don't think that's impossible for you guys to overcome, I think you have a lot harder chance doing that because, like you mentioned, your receivers are just not performing.
Yep.
So it's a lot harder for you guys to overcome it. And you're dealing with, oh, do I start Ashton Jeanty against the Chargers or Breece Hall against Atlanta? But you can't put another one of those guys in, which kind of sucks. So I agree with you. We need to go back to two flexes
and running backs,
2 wide receivers. I agree. I think it's going to be a hard
for sure.
I think you said everything perfect. Next one, Jacob versus Brandon. I think we're probably going to agree here, so I'll kind of fly through this. I'm picking Jacob here. Brandon's team is literally Emeka Egbuka, Trey McBride, and Bijan Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
If Baker Mayfield's hurt, it just kills Emeka Egbuka. I don't, even if he's not hurt, I don't love. I have a hard time picking Brandon's team. Jacob, on the other hand, you have Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, George Pickens, Devonta Smith, Justin Jefferson, and JJ McCarthy is most likely not playing this week. I did forget to put that on the rundown. He has a concussion.
Yeah, concussion.
Great for Justin Jefferson. I think anybody else is probably just going to throw him the ball 1.5 million times. I'm going with Jacob here.
Sure. I'll keep it short too. Yeah, I'm going to pick Jacob too, just because, yeah, I mean, it's rough in terms of the matchups, but for me, I'm like, Brendan needs to finish in last. For me, that's just my personal bias. So there you go.
Still a long way to go. All right.
Listen,
so next,
if we're not spoiling stuff, then we don't want to finish in last. So we can't spoil this week because Aaron's technically in. So why not?
Yeah, I get you. So next one, this is the matchup of the week according to Yahoo. It's Sarah versus Robert. This is going to be a great matchup. Honestly, I understand why they're saying it's a matchup of the week. It's 1 versus 5. They're within a game of each other. Robert has Bucky Irving coming back. His team looks super strong. Sorry, didn't mean to yawn there. I think I'm going to lean Sarah here.
Okay.
She's got Jalen Waddle, Darnell Mooney. She has Trey Tucker in right now. She'll probably put in Chris Olave. Rico Dowdle, Jahmyr Gibbs. Just a solid team. Like I think her team's going to be consistent. Unfortunately for Robert, his team's been putting up 120-ish the last 3 weeks. Sarah's team's just been consistently putting up 140, 150, 160, 170. So I am going to go Sarah on this one, but I'll let you go.
Yeah, I actually was kind of leaning towards Robert, but kind of just looking at the different matchups now. I'm like, I can see, because he has been, even with who he's been starting. I think I will go with Sarah as well, just because she's been consistent the last few weeks, whereas Robert has been consistent in terms of not scoring as much as he had been putting up lately.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he's been a little unlucky. Sarah has Jalen Waddle going up against New Orleans. I love that matchup. Darnell Mooney going up against the Jets, especially with Kirk Cousins and London out. Jahmyr Gibbs, I feel like he's matchup proof. I'm going to start him every time. Jaylen Warren against Buffalo. That's like money in the bank. And then even when you look at their benches, right, he's out Drake London, and he's going to have to figure out who he's starting. Sarah, on the other hand, she's probably thinking maybe Theo Johnson, and she's definitely putting in Chris Olave over against Miami. So I don't think her matchups or her lineups 100% set, but I do like her team just more this week.
For sure.
Last but not least, a huge matchup for me. Right. I still need Ryan to lose. If he wins, it doesn't matter what I do. So Ryan this week going up against JJ, rough matchup. The Chiefs this week have the best matchup they have for the rest of this playoff run. This gives him a chance to win this week, bring JJ down, and secure his playoff spot. So this has been the one. This is the reason I put it in last, was because this one I think is a lot harder to call than I initially thought it was going to be. I really thought this was a JJ lock, but looking at matchups and stuff, I'm having a lot harder time confirming that. So I'm going to let you start because I'm trying to take away my bias, and I kind of want to hear your opinion on it.
No, I mean, you're absolutely 100% correct. I mean, if you look at right off the bat, like Christian McCaffrey playing against Cleveland, it's like I remember the last time San Francisco played Cleveland, that was an ugly game. That was like what? I guess very low scoring game.
Yeah.
Nobody did really did much.
3 or something. I remember it was just field goals. I was like, this is so ugly.
Yeah. And then the way that the Bills have been playing, what are you going to get from Josh Allen this week? It depends on if Pittsburgh can actually get to him the same way that Houston did the week before. He's going to have a rough game if the protection doesn't hold up. Amon-Ra is solid. I'm not concerned with him.
Right.
Woody Marks depends. Brock Bowers, I think it will have a great game. He's got starting Gadsden for right now, so I'll be curious to see if that sticks. But on the other side, I'm like,
and it looks like he's starting Gadsden because he has Deebo Samuel against Denver. I don't blame him there. Marcus Mariota is most likely going. Maybe he starts Chimere Dike, but there's not really much else. He's the one who owns T. Higgins. Other side, sorry.
On the other side, no, it's okay. For Ryan, I'm like, Kansas City has, I was watching that game last week, and they didn't look great in the first half, but then it clicked. So and then everyone's saying, oh, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make playoffs. I'm like, Kansas City needs to put up points on Dallas, and I know they can because Dallas's defense isn't the greatest. The DK Metcalf matchup kind of scares me a little bit, depending, because I know he's been hurt. Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow back, I expect
against Baltimore.
I expect that connection to be there. Baltimore's defense has been improving, but I'm like, Joe Burrow is going to feed Jamar Chase since he was suspended last week. So honestly, I'm going to go with Ryan this week because it's so close, but I'm going to go for Ryan.
So again, I think I lost it a little bit. Am I still here?
You're here.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. So from my perspective, I am picking Ryan as well. Again, rooting for JJ here because my playoff hopes depend on it. But when you look at it, Dallas has been terrible. Their defense has just been allowing points all over the board. Baltimore with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow coming back, Ryan's team this week, I think Kansas City puts up probably 35 points, which is going to be between Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. Chase, I think Jamar Chase has one of those 40, 50-point games. And I think even no matter what else happens, I think that's massive. I think that's going to be the thing that decides it. So for me, I am going with Ryan's team here. I agree. It sucks, but it is what it is at this point. So again, rooting for JJ because my fantasy hopes kind of depend on it because I know exactly how this will work out is I'll probably win and then JJ will lose and then I'll be like, well, it means nothing.
It means nothing to you. It makes me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, because so the funny thing is, and so we can be done with week 13 predictions here, but no matter what, JJ decides my fate the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
JJ holds my fate in his hands because this week he plays Ryan and I need him to win. Even if he wins this week, next week I play JJ. It all comes down to me versus JJ, and JJ always beats me.
Literally game over for you, like your gamer tag.
Yeah, it's game over. But that's it. That's all I have. quick recap of the settings. Unfortunately, I lost my other webpage, which is why we lost the
No worries.
breakdown. But Sarah did move into first, as we said. Jacob is still standing pat at second. Again, point total. That's why Sarah moved ahead of him. Aaron moved up into third. He's, again, we've been talking about it. So super solid. JJ into fourth with a 2-way tie. Him and Robert both have the same record. So it just came down to points. Robert goes into fifth. Even with his loss, didn't move at all. And then Ryan moves to sixth. So rough, right? Like,
Ryan's
I
had a
really,
rough few weeks.
Ryan he was 6-1 with Jordan Addison coming back, and we were like, dang, this guy, he's gonna go on this huge run.
Rice,
He went from first to sixth and has a chance to just miss the playoffs. You know, it's really coming down to Terrence and myself and him. And Ryan kind of holds his own fate. If he wins, he's in. He's in. Because the only way Terrence can make it if Ryan gets a win is if he outscores if he outscores Ryan in the next 2 weeks by a combined total of 73 points. So not only Ryan wins one game, if he wins his next two, Ryan's 100% in. But if Ryan wins one game and Terrence outscores him in some miracle and he wins his next two, he would have to beat him by a combined 73 points. That is a lot harder to do. Even Sarah putting up 170 last week, with Ryan putting up his 130, I believe. That's only a 40-point difference. You know, you'd have to do that twice. And
stuff to do.
That's tough. Much easier to just win out and hope and hope Ryan loses out, because even if Ryan loses this week and Terrence wins, Ryan's still going to be in sixth, and it's going to come down to the last game. And same thing, if Ryan loses this week and I win, he's still going to be in sixth, and it's going to come down to the last week. So really comes down to, you know, Ryan, how well he does, and does he sneak in and maybe his team goes on a run, or does somebody kick him out at the very end and he's playing in the loser bowl again? So we'll see.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Unfortunately, you guys, the reigning champs, have been, you know, eliminated. Brandon, who was on an amazing run in our league, I think he was on a 7-year streak of making the playoffs. That comes to an end. And then me and Terrence, I feel like I've just constantly been playing for sixth lately. So we'll see.
Yeah, this will be the first time we're missing the playoffs in quite a while too.
Yeah, I think the last time you missed the playoffs was the season Mike took off, and it was just you.
Yep.
Which I don't have that off the top of my head. I don't know when that was, but it's been a while.
Okay. It's been a while.
I was on that same run. I don't know if you remember, in 2021, the last time I won a championship, I hadn't missed the playoffs ever in the league. And then since then I've made the playoffs once. I don't think I'm bad at fantasy, considering I have a fantasy football show, but the stats say otherwise. So, you know, it is what it is, right?
It is what it is. That's why it's always entertaining each year, because you don't know what you're going to get, and you prep and you do all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And then, you know, things happen. So,
right. I mean, nobody predicted JSN to be the number one fantasy wide receiver. And when we were drafting, Puka had fallen to the second round. Nobody thought he was going to be good. Jonathan Taylor in our league fell to the third round. Players that are just dominating.
We got to have more keepers then, because those guys were on our team last year. What the heck?
Which is probably why you won it last year.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
So this year's kind of changed, right?
Yeah.
I will say this year has been a lot more fun doing this podcast and making it more centric of the league. It's been more entertaining. We've had a lot more trades, a lot more communication, which is the whole reason we made this. And I appreciate that you've been on the ride with me, because this isn't about, I'm not trying to make YouTube money or anything like that, but I am trying to make sure the league stays engaged and we're having fun. So even though most of my trades have not worked out this season for me, I still had a ton of fun making them.
Been entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and that's what fantasy should be. Like, it sucks losing. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to win. I'm competitive just like anyone else. But I want it to be fun, and making all those trades has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it.
I mean, there's been more trade. I know near the end, but we've done more trades in this league than in the combined other leagues that we've in. Like I haven't even done really any trades in all of the other leagues that we're in together compared to this one. Like this one has had a lot of trades, and even if you compare it to probably like the last 3 or 4 seasons, the amount of trades that have happened in this league, I think the way that you've gone about doing the show and everything like that has improved in the league overall, because I see more interactions than I've seen the last, and I've been in the league, what, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years? I
Yeah.
can't remember, but I've seen a lot more interaction this year than I have in the past few years.
Which is all I was going for. And that's what I was
Mhm.
hoping that this show would do, is start bringing everybody a little bit more together.
I think it has.
And give everybody a chance, right?
For sure.
I really am hoping that we can get more people on.
Mhm.
Even the final show, I would love, if nothing else, to get the 2 players playing against each other in championship on.
Mhm.
I know I'm asking a lot, and I'm not going to require anybody to jump on, but if any of you ever can, just reach out. I'd love to have you on here just to talk. It's just for fun. My idea of getting everyone on would have been fantastic. We've gotten Brandon, Sarah's been on a few times, Ryan's been on a few times. JJ and Aaron, they used to do the show, so you guys know who they are, but I'd love to get them back on. I'd love for Mike to come on one of these times. Robert is the newest member of our league, the most engaged in all of our YouTube content. He's the one I'd love to get on here too.
For sure.
I'd love to get everybody on, and Robert, especially, just from my perspective, and Terrence, I would love to get on as well, but I at least have a relationship with Terrence. Robert was Aaron's friend he brought on, and I've loved having him in the league. He's been fantastic, but I'd love to get to know him better than just the 10 minutes I get at the fantasy football before we start drafting, and then he's got to go.
I agree.
This is a shout out for Robert, Terrence. I'd love to get you guys on just as much as we've had everyone else. I promise you, it's a lot of fun. That's all I have to say. That's my PSA. 52 minutes. Try to keep it short. I'm sorry, guys. We have fun every time, right? That's it. That's all I have. You got anything?
Good luck, everyone. No. I just good luck to everyone, and then hopefully everyone has a great holiday.
Happy Thanksgiving. Good luck to everyone except for Ryan and Terrence. I hope you both lose. Peace out, y'all.